The madhouse at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. After a 16-year wait, it's over tonight. The San Francisco Giants are champions of the West. Several vials of human blood were stolen in but the San Francisco Giants are tonight once again drinking at the championship fountain. Roger Craig and his crew said they wanted to win the National League West Championship on their own, not with a Cincinnati loss. The Reds won tonight, leaving it up to the Giants. They came through 5-4. Gary Park is standing by in San Diego with an update for us. Gary, what's going on down there?
Well, Dennis, as you can hear in the background, and as I'm sure you just saw a few moments ago, the clubhouse of the San Francisco Giants is chaos. There's a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, a lot of pouring of champagne and beer, and of course a lot of very happy, smiling faces, especially, I think, the face of Bob Lurie. And it's just lighted up like a Christmas tree tonight. He and Al Rosen and Roger Craig deserve so much of the credit. And of course the hero of tonight's game, Don Robinson, a newcomer to the Giants, no newcomer to division champions, and it is just an ecstatic clubhouse. What else can we say? Anybody there asked me a question. If anybody did, I obviously can't hear him. As Kelly Downs walking me. Kelly! I had somehow managed to avoid that most of the evening, and it wasn't even Domaine Chandon. It was light beer. Thanks, Mark. Mark Laton, the trainer.
Can you hear me now, Gary?
I owe you one, Kelly. Yeah.
Okay, now that was the big question we wanted to ask you. How did you get through half the night without getting soaked?
Very carefully, like porcupines, you know what. I assured one and all that I was wet. Did you pay off Kelly Downs to do that? Somebody must have. But I'd made it so far, but obviously not any longer. But that's all right. As I said earlier, I've waited 15 years for this. I've been doing the games for 15 years, and there have been a lot of lean years during those 15. A couple times they came close in 78 and again in 82. But this year you felt really was their year from that first day of spring training. And Roger Craig and Al Rosen told them they could win it all. And they haven't won it all yet, but they feel they can. They have taken that first big step. They have won the National League West.
Gary, we've been watching quite a bit of the clubhouse celebration, and we get a feel for what's going on. But for instance, Will Clark and some of the others, is it that wild down there now?
Well, Will Clark certainly is, as you saw him earlier. Will is terribly excited. I loved his one line. He's been waiting a long time for this. This is his second year in the major leagues, his second year in professional baseball.
Watch out, Gary. Watch out, Gary.
See, that'll teach you to talk to about Will that way. But some guys, you know, like Bob Brenly and Chris Spire. Chris, of course, on the last division championship team. And other guys have been around a long time waiting for this, especially Bob Lurie and Al Rosen. They are certainly the happiest people here tonight. And you called me back on just so that could happen to me, right?
Gary, I'm going to let you go so you don't get blindsided again. Thanks a lot, buddy.
As long as this light is on and the red light and the camera's on, I'm going to get it. So thanks a lot, Dennis.
You're quite welcome, buddy. See you when you get back. Gary Park reporting live from Jack Murphy Stadium down in San Diego with the victorious and delirious Giants, especially Will Clark. Now, even though the Giants clinched division title in San Diego, the win was not lost on the fans here in the Bay Area. San Francisco streets, we're told, are alive with revelers tonight. We're going to go over there and see. They're celebrating the first Giants division title since 1971. George Watson is standing by in the city with those fans with a live report for us. George, what do you have for us?
I can't hear a word you're saying. I hope you can hear me. But I'll tell you one thing. I've been waiting 16 years to see somebody pour something on Gary Park. It's pandemonium here, as you can see. Earlier tonight, though, it was a little quieter. Let's take a look at that.
Early in the game, people were just glad to be here, out and about on a night when the Giants are trying to clinch their division. But then Leonard hit his homer.
To left field. Back goes Martinez.
It was pandemonium. Again, when Chile hit his. People want the division, the pennant, the championship, any way they can get it.
Giants fans are so tough, so dedicated, that obviously the Cincinnati's won tonight. Is that true? Okay, fine. The Giants fans deserve to win at home.
Do you care if they clinch at home or clinch on the road?
No, I don't care at all. I'm just thrilled. I'm happy. I couldn't be happier.
I was born and raised in San Francisco, and it's been such a long time. Hey, this is the best thing that's ever happened. It's like the Niners winning the Super Bowl.
Dennis, I mentioned this scene is going on in bars all across San Francisco. It's pretty loud here, but there were actually tears of joy being shed here. Ron, I've never seen anybody so emotional over a baseball game.
Well, honestly, we see so many...
Giants are the Western Division champions for the first time since 1970.
2 outs. A little looper to left field. Back to the wall is Jeffrey Leonard, and let the celebration begin.
And it was a scene 16 years in the making.
For the Giants, division champs, from the stadium in San Diego to every bar and living room in San Francisco tonight, the cheering may never stop. The World Series is now one giant step closer. Good evening, hum baby. Well, they're doing more than a humming tonight. Just moments ago, the Giants clinched their first division championship in 16 years.
The champagne's pouring all over the Bay Area tonight. It is a giant celebration, of course, for the new National League Western Division champions. Joe Fonzie with us tonight to take a look at some of the highlights from the unforgettable game just over. Joe?
David, I guess you'd have to put things in perspective a bit. The last time the Giants won the division, a Republican named Nixon was president, and many Giants of today were still in grade school. Tonight, the Giants wrapped up their first division title since 1971 by beating San Diego 5-4. Pitcher Don Robinson hit this game-winning homer in the 8th inning. He also pitched 5 shutout innings for the win. Jeffrey Leonard and Chili Davis each hit pinch-hit homers for the Giants. We will, of course, have much more on this tonight in the Sportscast, but right now, Rick Kwan is joining us live in San Diego. Rick, I guess you could say that things are very exciting there right now. I see you, Rick. Can you hear me? Perhaps not. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to Rick a little bit later in the newscast. Anyway, as I said, we'll have much more about the Giants.
Paralyzed by the excitement. For Bay Area fans, the football strike was all but forgotten. It was baseball, Giants baseball, making news. At Pat O'Shea's in San Francisco's Richmond district, they packed the crowd into the tables and the champagne on ice, and they waited. Abby Goldman was there for the big moment everyone was hoping for, and she's there now as the party at O'Shea's tries to match the excitement of the Giants celebration in San Diego, and it sounds like they're doing a good job of it, Abby.
Yes, and I could barely hear you, Mac. In fact, this was hum-babying like mad about 3 minutes ago. And as you can tell, it's about 16 years worth of expectation and hope and prayer built up into this crowd right now. And when the explosion happened, when that last out was made against the Padres, if you didn't want to get sprayed with champagne, you had to duck. It was nuts. In fact, thank you very much. How's your heart?
It's beating fast. It's beating fast.
Who's the hero?
Robinson, the pitcher, home run, pitching, everything, the whole team.
Was it magic? It was magic what happened.
It was magic. It was destined. It was destined.
The Giants, you gotta love them. The Giants, they win the division, first time in 16 years. You can't do any better.
Why did it work this time? And why didn't it work the last 16?
Because now we finally have a general manager that can do something right.
Save it for the World Series because the teams that party the most get eliminated first.
All right. Now with me right now, Larry Griffin, you've been a fan since 1959. How sweet is it?
It's very sweet. It's I can't remember anything sweeter, except maybe the 49ers' first victory, but it's wonderful that we have a winning team here now, and we're going all the way.
You're not a fair-weather Giants fan, are you?
No, I went to my first game at Seal Stadium in '59, so
right.
I'm not a fair-weather fan.
All right, and people behind me aren't. Are you ready? Wait. Are you ready? What do you have to tell the Giants right now?
Keep it up.
And home. That's it. Pat O'Shea's and Abby Goldman. Back to you.
Thanks, Abby. Next time we'll put you in with the Lions and Tigers. You seem to be able to handle any kind of a situation. The Giants will return home Thursday night, and what a celebration. They'll get a welcome. There'll be an opening 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves Friday night at Candlestick Park. David?
Well, Dave, Giants fans may be celebrating.
See, that's where we are, home of the National League champion West. You got it, Jim, on the road in San Diego. We'll be back in sports, another clinching team tonight in baseball.
Okay, great game. Thanks a lot, Tom. Needless to say, Yarmo standing by live at one of their favorite waiting spots. Hello, Emil.
As you can see, the next best thing to being in San Diego is being here in Pat O'Shea's, a sports bar in San Francisco. They went crazy when they saw the highlights just a second ago, and you can imagine how they reacted when it actually happened.
The big cheer when the Giants went ahead. Longtime fan Jeffrey Norman started celebrating.
Everybody in here has waited a long time. A lot of people that probably haven't been Giants fans so openly, but I've got a lot of friends that know that I've suffered a long time.
The night began early for diehard Giants fans, watching the Reds-Braves game. A Reds loss would have eliminated them and given the Giants a division championship. But the Reds, down 4-zip in the first, came back to win, and Giants fans like Patrick Copeland were forced to wait a little longer when the Giants played the Padres.
I think most fans would probably, and me included, would like for Cincinnati to win tonight so that the Giants would win their own game and so that we don't back into the whole thing.
The place definitely pepped up by game time. The Giants didn't disappoint. Fans had lots to cheer as the Giants
won themselves a division title. Heroes abounded for the disciples of Hum Baby in front of 30,000 at Jack Murphy Stadium. First hero of the day, Jeffrey Leonard right here. Leonard breaking it 1-all tie in the fourth inning with his 2-run homer to left his 19th of the season. Giants were in front by 2 runs at this point. To their credit, the Padres certainly gave the Giants more than a challenge tonight. Tony Gwynn, the league's leading hitter, with a single here. That scores Gary Templeton. This game was again tied 3 runs apiece. Now into the next Giant hero, pinch hitter Chili Davis. 5th inning, Chili, who's really walloped the ball the past month, delivers again. Solo shot to right, and it was a 4-3 Giants lead. But again, those pesky Padres come back. This is Benito Santiago, the soon-to-be Rookie of the Year, with a blooper. Misconnection here between Leonard and Davis. That ball drops in short left. That brings in the run, and once again, it's 4-all. That also brings us to the biggest hero of the night for the Giants. Relief pitcher Don Robinson, top of the 8th, score tied 4-all. Robinson delivers the game winner, a solo shot to left, and that puts the Giants in front. Finally, the magic moment with 2 out and a runner on in the bottom of the 9th inning. John Kruk flying out to deep left. Now, if this ball gets out, it's over and the Giants lose. However, this is 1987, and it is caught by Leonard. The long-awaited celebration begins. The Giants win the game, and they win the West. The players mob each other, and really there were plenty of Giant fans at Jack Murphy Stadium to share the moment with San Francisco. And as you might imagine, the clubhouse was a real zoo. The bubbly was flowing, and of course, so did the platitudes from veteran players who've waited so long, as well as the many newcomers to this new-look Giants team that's done so well.
And we are with Chili Clark. Come here, Will. Hey, what's happening? We did it! Let's go down right!
This year, the addition of Al Rose and Roger Craig, they knew exactly what they were doing. Never once said we couldn't win. They always told us we're going to win it, we're going to win it. That's exactly what we did. It feels great. You know, I haven't went through this since 1979 with the Pirates, and what I'm really happy about is the guys that has never went through this and has been in the Giant organization for so long. Al Rosen, Bob Lurie, Roger Craig, and they deserve it. They built the ball club, they won it.
Meanwhile, in far less important game,
the drought of the Giants is over. They are Western Division champions. More than 30,000 fans in Jack Murphy Stadium saw the Giants win a division title on the same field they won 16 years ago. Pinch hitter Jeffrey Leonard gave the Giants a 3-1 lead in the 4th with his 2-run homer off former A's pitcher Dave Leeper. But the Pods got 2 back in the bottom half of the inning. The Giants got another pinch hit homer in the following inning. Chili Davis takes his ex-teammate and namesake Mark Davis the other way here. Home run number 23 for Chili. The Pods tied the game again, though, in the 7th. So it was up to winner Don Robinson to do it himself in the 8th. He rips Lance McCullers' pitch over the wall and left. His first homer as a Giant, and one that will be remembered for a long time. Robinson gave up only 1 run in his 5 innings of relief. John Kruk flies to Jeffrey Leonard to end the game, and in 16 years of frustration for the Giants, to win it by a final score of 5-4. Rick Kwan spent the evening in San Diego. He now has this report from Jack Murphy Stadium. Rick.
Well, the game's been over for about 40 minutes now, but you can still hear celebrating coming from the Giants locker room, and good reason why. It's their first divisional title in 16 years. Of course, we were in the locker room talking to the players and the coaches. We talked to manager Roger Craig, and he told us even though the Giants were 5 games out in August, there was no doubt that the Giants would come back and take the title.
We always won the big crucial games when we had to, like tonight. We saw that Cincinnati won again, and people saying, well, anything can happen. But we came out smoking and played like champions, and we are the champions.
It feels fantastic. After 2 years ago, you know, we lost 100 games, and we're right here now. Fantastic.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
2 years ago, the Giants lost 100 games, and now you're champions.
That's right. Well, under the right leadership and the right makeup, you can do it. These guys wanted to do it. Al Rosen and Roger Craig put the right ingredients together.
How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. I'll tell you, it's better than I even thought. It's super. I haven't had to taste it. It feels all right. It's wet, I'll tell you that.
There, hopefully you can see some of the celebrating that went on tonight. It's kind of ironic. The Giants last won their title, divisional title, in 1971, and they did it right here in San Diego. Of course, we'll have more on the story tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The Giants celebrate their first divisional title in 16 years. Back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you, Rick, and obviously some people who've waited a long time for that celebration. The Giants had to win tonight because the Reds had beaten the Braves 6-5. The Mets pulled it within 2 games. Homer here to tie the game in the 4th. He singled home the go-ahead run in the 8th. The Rangers had the potential tying run at the plate with 1 out in the 9th, but Lombardozzi turns Gino Peralti's blooper into a game-ending and division-clinching double play. Former Giant Juan Berenguer got the win to wrap up Minnesota's first title since 1970. The Twins Stanisic with an
baseball, not football. Will Clark's pair of home runs brought the fans to their feet at the stick. Over 51,000 fans showed up today. That sets a new franchise season record for the L.A. West champions.
Coming up next, Joe Fonzie will have the details on that and all the rest of the sports. Stay with us.
An unlikely week with a 1-0 win over Toronto, which was good for a division championship. Toronto had a 3.5-game lead over the Tigers with a week to play, but ended the season by losing 7 straight. Today's game was another pitching battle, this time between Jimmy Key of Toronto and Frank Tanana of Detroit. It was a battle Tanana would win. Larry Herndon produced the game's only run in the 2nd inning when he lifted a key pitch to deep left. George Bell goes to the wall, but the ball just gets out. Just the 9th home run of the year for the former Giant, Herndon. Tanana was just a little better than Key, giving up only 6 hits and going the distance for a shutout. In the 8th, he gets out of a 1st and 3rd situation with 2 outs as Jesse Barfield hits a chopper back to the mound, and Tanana throws him out. Now we're in the 9th as Garth Orge is the last hope for the Blue Jays. Tanana throws him out as well, and the Tigers have their 2nd division championship in the last 4 years. One of the great final week comebacks by a team as Detroit now opens the American League Championship Series on Wednesday in Minnesota. The A's ended a disappointing final month of the season with another disappointing finish, losing again to the Chicago White Sox today by the score of 5-2. Chicago, on the other hand, after a miserable first half of the season, finished by winning 17 of its last 21. Ron Hassey with a drive to deep center that finds its way out of the park for a 2-run homer. With the win today, the White Sox managed to avoid the AL West cellar. The high point of the day for the A's was Reggie Jackson, making the final appearance of his 21-year career. After a standing ovation from the Comiskey Park fans, Reggie stepped up to the plate, and watch this. Shatters his bat in half, but gets a base hit up the middle. Reggie also doubled earlier. The A's finished the season at an even 500 in 3rd place, 4 games off the lead. The Giants used their final tune-up before Tuesday's playoff game with St. Louis to set a team home run record. A crowd of 51,000 plus also added to the attendance record of more than 1.9 million for the season at Candlestick. The Giants hit 4 homers in a 5-4 win over Atlanta, and Will Clark had 2 of them. Clark hit a 2-run shot in the 1st and this solo blast in the 3rd to put the Giants on top 3-0. That's 35 homers on the year for Clark, the most by a Giant since Bobby Bonds hit 39 in 1973. Atlanta got 3 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th to go on top, but in the bottom of the 6th, Chili Davis tied the game with his 24th homer, an ongoing career high. The game was tied 4-4 until the 10th. Bob Brenly led off that inning against Jim Acker and hit a towering drive to left that won the game and capped a regular season that captured the imagination of the Bay Area fans. That's 205 home runs on the season for the Giants, breaking the San Francisco record of 204 set by the 1962 team. Bob Brenly was one of the Giant heroes today, but he said this game was just like it's been all season long.
Whenever our backs are against the wall or we've absolutely hit rock bottom, we find a way to rebound and get back in the ball game. Somebody hit a big home run or make a big defensive play or a pitcher throw a complete game. It's been something different every ball game, and I guess today was my turn to have the sunshine on my behind, so I'll take it.
So it's on to St. Louis, where Rick Russell will start for the Giants on Tuesday against Danny Cox. One other baseball note today, Boston's Roger Clemens threw a 2-hit shutout at Milwaukee in a 4-0 win. On passes, this one a team record 82-yarder to Mike Waters. Under 30,000 attended at the Superdome. In Washington, the NFL's longest home sellout streak came to an end. Anthony Allen catches this touchdown pass from Ed Rubert in a 28-21 win over St. Louis. Allen set a team record for receiving yardage. Dallas was the 38-24 winner over the Jets. Former Fresno State quarterback Kevin Sweeney got another chance after being cut by the Cowboys in training camp. This is one of 2 touchdown passes he threw to Kelvin Edwards. Just 4,000 fans in Philadelphia to see the Bears pound the Eagles 35-3. Mike Honesey beats a blitz and hits Glenn Kozlowski on this score. And the Raiders are now 3-0 after a 35-17 win over Kansas City. Vince Evans, National League Championship Series against the St. Louis Cardinals. The 1987 version of the Giants is truly one of the great turnarounds in baseball history. As the Giants worked out today at Busch Stadium, the horrors of 1985's 100-loss disaster seemed like ages ago. But it was only 2 seasons past that people named Racich, Trio, and LeMaster were playing positions manned today by Uribe, Thompson, and Clark. Many of the people who were with the team in '85 are still here, but the attitude...
Look at the attitude that we had when we took the field. More often than not, we were beat before we walked out of the clubhouse.
The 2 people most credited with changing the Giants from a bunch of individuals going through the motions to a division-winning team are Al Rosen and Roger Craig. Hired at the end of the